Dudes, welcome back to the channel. Today Christian and I are going to be filming the 10,000 subscriber special, which is going to be our questions and answers video.
Q&A.
Yeah, I put a post on my Instagram. I'll put both of our Instagrams right here, asking you guys what questions you have, and we got a huge list here. And then Christian asked it on his Instagram as well, on his story, and we had on the dash video for this truck actually, we had you guys have some questions there. So Christian's going to be reading off of his Instagram and YouTube, and I'll be reading off of my Instagram. Yeah, you have anything to say for 10,000?
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
It's freaking awesome. 10K. Didn't think we'd be here for a really long time, but the last couple months it has definitely exploded, so thank you guys a lot for that.
I remember we started at when we started seriously, we had 200, and I think that was mostly from the videos I did with Cam. The Hakumba special and Glamis Halloween, was it?
I think so.
So that was when we were at 200, and then we started doing it seriously on just the normal truck, the 92 F1 build, and it was building slowly. We weren't growing that fast at the start. Definitely has taken time. We started seriously last August, and because that's when I quit my job and had a month before school started, and then he left Down South Motorsports to do Vital Designs, which is his business full time. So that's when we kind of
Hey,
both
you just
split.
answered a question, dog.
What? But yeah, that's when we kind of split and started YouTube seriously, trying to do a few videos a week ever since then. We've kind of skipped a few, but try to stay pretty consistent. I think we've done a good job.
It's definitely hard filming. We're trying to keep on a 3 video a week schedule, which is extremely hard with how much time it takes to build these things. So yeah, we're trying.
We're answering questions that aren't even questions, but the difficult thing about doing stuff like this is you're actually building it. It's not like car videos where you're just bolting stuff together. We actually have to make the parts.
There's no nut and bolts on this. There is, but you're building everything that's connected with nuts and bolts. So it takes a lot of time.
It makes it a little bit harder, and we can't do as much content or bring it out as fast that way, but that's just how it goes in this kind of genre of cars. So I think with that, it is time to start. You want to start?
Yep. I got a couple questions on here.
Yeah, Christian's over here all professional taking screenshots of questions, so I'm just going to be scrolling through till I find some good ones.
I guess this is a good first one. Plans/goals for the channel. What are your plans and goals for the channel?
What are yours?
I'd say plans would be definitely, we want to get something else on the channel as a build, because this is kind of another question that's going to be answered at some point too. This truck is going to be leaving somewhat soon, so we want to get something else, and now that the 92 F1 build is getting real close to being finished, we'll definitely have more content on that actually driving, but as far as actual build process goes, we definitely need something else for the channel, so that might be coming.
Yeah, so temporary, I'd say, is just to stay consistent uploading. If you guys haven't noticed, we're on a steady schedule of Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. That's what we try and stick to. Get another build, that's a good one, because we're starting to run out of content now that this thing's being done.
Yeah, it gets difficult when you're doing really tiny things on trucks, and it doesn't necessarily equal up to good content for videos. So
long-term goals are going to be to get the channel bigger and bigger. I want to see this channel at 100,000 subscribers. That's the next big goal. 10,000 took about a year, so I'm not sure how long 100,000 is going to take, because usually with YouTube, you grow kind of exponentially. It's not a steady climb. So we'll see. I don't think it'll take us 10 years to hit 100,000.
Even if it does, it is what it is. I mean,
that's a long time, 10 years. Oh, jeez. But yeah, I think we could hit that. That's the next big goal. Maybe eventually Christian and I could be doing this on mostly our own builds rather than customers' builds. That's
that would be
long-term goals. Is to just be doing it for ourselves. That would be.
Yeah, if we could do this as our main income and we're working on only our own stuff, that would be ultimate goal, I guess.
Yeah, that's end game right there.
Yeah.
So I got a question right here on my Instagram from IB_Albie. He says, "What do you guys do when you're not building/filming rad rigs?"
Mini golf.
That's what
Tyler.
That's what Tyler said. Yeah, that's that question. When we're not filming or working on trucks or anything, I'm usually at school. I go to UCSD, so that takes up quite a bit of my time. It's summer, but I'm in summer classes right now, so I'm still trying to do this in YouTube at the same time. Christian, that's pretty much your job. So.
Yeah, so if I'm not working on trucks, I'm pretty much just chilling because I work on trucks basically 7 days a week for the most part.
That's his living.
Yeah, that's what I do. So that's basically what I'm doing every single day of the week. If I'm not doing that, I'm trying to do like normal person things, go to the beach, hang out with friends, stuff like that. But it's definitely for the most part working on these things.
Yeah, beach mostly. Actually, go to the desert.
Yeah, going to the desert is I guess that is a big one.
That's like main goal.
Yeah.
I try not to. I don't know. I don't do as many things as I used to anymore. I try and focus more on YouTube and school. That's priorities.
Why are pre-runners two-wheel drive?
They're not all two-wheel drive.
No, so that's something that's starting to come out more now is all-wheel drive, like trophy trucks and stuff like that. But for the most part, two-wheel drive is a lot better for a pre-runner platform because you can get a lot more wheel travel out of the front of the trucks. You don't have the axles for the four-wheel drive, the what's it called, the transfer case. You don't have any of that stuff, so it just makes it a lot easier to get more wheel travel, which gives you a better ride, more wheel travel. Just makes things a lot smaller, a lot more suspension travel, stuff like that. So
a lot of the time too, pre-runners aren't meant for like overlanding, let's say. So you're mostly high speed. You don't really need four-wheel drive that much because if you have a big enough tire and enough power, you're not really getting stuck very often. So four-wheel drive isn't very necessary.
Yeah,
and
not rock crawling.
Yeah, for the longest time it was held up by suspension travel because two-wheel drive kit can cycle a lot more and it's cheaper. Like,
yeah, a lot cheaper.
So cost, suspension travel, and it's not 100% necessary in all applications.
Yeah.
All right, this one comes from Nick Toasty. Hey Wingsworld, big fan of the channel. Do you have any tips on LS swapping my O2 Honda Accord?
Huh.
You better bust out a 4.5-inch cutoff wheel and get grinding those tubs off on for your wheel wells, dude.
You got a lot of chopping to do.
It's a small vehicle right there, brother. What's your guys' plans for the future, seeing how you guys are very advanced in this line of work? I think we kind of went over that.
Yeah.
Just maybe that's more of like a work-related question.
What was it?
I don't know. What's your guys' plans for the future, seeing how you guys are very advanced in this line of work? It's from Cactus Joe _6.
Well, plans for the future, at least for me with Vital, is at some point move into a shop. I'm starting to outgrow this 1,000 square foot garage with big old trucks like this, so I can only work on one thing at a time for customers at least. So it definitely gets kind of tricky trying to plan things out and how to work around having only one vehicle here at a time. So getting into a shop is definitely one of the main priorities that I'm kind of trying to think about right now, but it is expensive, especially here in California. So
yeah, we're very fortunate to have such a big space to work on stuff, but once you get more than one vehicle, it's tight in here. Like even to get the 92F1 build over here, it's a process. We got to back this thing out, move everything, and then dolly it over. So it's a process. Having a bigger shop would be nice.
Yeah.
Not as cramped.
Let's see. Did you guys decide the OBS platform because of suspension style versus a Silverado or Sierra, or because you like the body style more?
It's all body style.
Yeah.
Our dad has a 93 Ford. He's probably seen it in the yard, 4-door. And that, I've always liked that truck. And after seeing, I don't even know what videos, it might have been like Still Dirty or something, the white truck and that.
Shout out Ryan Bonzin.
Yeah, always loved the OBS platform. Never really a Ford motor guy though. I don't know. People give us a lot of crap for that, but.
Yeah, I mean, you can build a Ford motor to be somewhat good, but it costs a lot of money compared to just throwing an LS in it, which sounds really stupid, but an LS motor is definitely a lot more reliable. You can get a lot more power out of them easily. They're basically Legos. They're easy to work with, so it is what it is. If I ever put a motor in my truck, it'll be a Ford motor in a Ford, but as far as anything else that we build, it's more than likely going to have an LS in it, just for the sake of simplicity.
Yeah, you can call us LS fanboy, but I don't know. I like them.
Nothing against Sierras though, or Silverados. I like both of them. There's a lot of them out there now though, so it's kind of like a cookie cutter.
That's another reason I like this platform, is because not many people build the OBS anymore. It's all the new body style Chevys.
Yeah.
That's what everybe's building.
And it depends on what you're doing. If it's a kit front end on a Silverado or something like that, there's give and takes to both I-beams and a kit style front end. If you're going full center mounted like the way this truck is, then A-arms are obviously the way to go. But as far as I-beams go, it's definitely a lot cheaper to run an I-beam setup and get a lot more wheel travel than it is to run a kit front end like on a Silverado if it's going to be like a Missoula front end or something like that. It's a lot cheaper to run I-beams.
Yeah, and you have I-beams on older trucks which are already cheaper. So getting into something a little bit older, like a Ranger or full size F-150, it's gonna be cheaper than the new trucks. That's for sure. Any plans to build a TTB truck? That's just like Bronco beams, isn't it?
Yeah, that's twin traction I-beams.
Yeah.
If we get a Bronco or something like that, then yes. But as far as swapping TTB onto like an F-150 or buying an F-150 that's already four-wheel drive, I don't really see, unless I'm building something that's like meant to go like explore and I want four-wheel drive on something, I probably won't put anything TTB on anything go fast.
Yeah, I don't know. It would depend what it's for, application-wise.
Yeah.
I could see it on like an OBS because you can easily build those beams. You just cut, bend them, extend
cut and turn them, and then you plate them all in. You can do it real easy. It would have to be something very specific that we're building though to put TTB on it.
Yeah, it'd be a Bronco. It would be OBS something. I don't. Someone's put
Not
on
necessarily.
like a Tacoma. I've seen them on a Tacoma somewhere.
Yeah, there's a couple different different platforms that have TTB beams on them, but I don't know. Maybe might have a little something up our sleeves for some TTB beams on something that's not supposed to have beams on it.
Some TTP dog. Yo. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, go next question.
Well, I kind of already answered this one. Are you guys fully fabricating the tube chassis truck or to a certain point and sending it off somewhere? So this truck, I am basically wrapped up with it. This is not our truck. It's for a customer.
Yeah.
I've just been doing a bunch of work to it to get it moving along quicker. It's probably going to be going to someone to get the rest of it finished, as well as the customer himself is going to be finishing a lot of the stuff on it as well. But like all the paneling for the truck is going to go to someone. It needs exhaust done on it, which is going to go to someone. I think the customer said he's going to be doing the plumbing on it and like all the brake lines and stuff like that. But it should be getting wrapped up fairly soon, depending on how quick things go. But I am almost done with this thing, so I'm not going to be finishing it completely.
That leads us into another good question that I don't know if anybody asked it, but I see it in the comments all the time on the videos, is who owns what truck? So this truck is a customer's truck for Bruce.
Yes.
You probably haven't heard his name, but his name is Bruce. That's who that truck's for. The 92 F1 build is all of ours. It's technically my dad's, but we kind of consider it all of our build. And then Christian's truck, white truck.
Yeah, the 92 F1 build, my dad is the financial side of it, I'm the build side of it, and Jake's also build side of it, so it's kind of all split up. The truck wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for all of us, so it kind of is what it is.
Where did you guys learn how to fabricate? I'm a welder and have gotten into fabrication, but there's so much to learn. So how did you learn how to fabricate?
Learning how to fabricate,
trial and error.
Yeah, a lot of it's trial and error. I interned at a fab shop called Complete Fabrication of El Cajon for a year. That was like my first introduction to getting into fabrication. And then after that, I would basically push the broom around the whole time and just watched what other people were doing in the shop, which was Glenn Stradiff, which is a super well-known dude around here. Just watched him, what he was doing the whole time, and that really sparked my interest on things. But the majority of it is just literally trial and error and learning from either doing it myself or going online like Desert Rangers, looking at the way people are doing things, how tube layouts are, suspension geometry, all that stuff. Literally just hours and hours and hours on a computer just trying to figure it out for myself, because there is no real school to go. You can go to like the fab school and stuff like that, but it's not as good as just literally doing it hands-on yourself. So just getting after it, especially with welding. There's so many videos online on how to weld and how to do certain things with the welder, how to set up your welder, all that type of stuff. Bender, just literally trial and error, figuring it out for yourself. And then it's just the majority of just doing it, actually doing it. Just get out and do it.
I remember the first thing. I remember we got our first welder. It was a Miller 140 HD, I think it was. No, not Miller. Lincoln 140 HD.
Yeah, from Home Depot. The good old Home Depot.
No gas, anything. What is that?
Flux core.
Yeah, flux core. And I remember sitting there just with some like crappy Harbor Freight helmets.
We never fabbed on the truck with flux core ever. That was literally just like testing things out.
Yeah, that was way before we even had the truck. But
yeah,
me and Christian were kids when that was occurring, or when we had that welder. And I remember just sitting there doing little puddles with it, trying to learn, because we were trying to build like Christian and I used to go to the skate park all the time when we were growing up.
Yep.
We were trying to build scooter bars, just a little T-bar that we'd have to weld up, because we wanted to do that as like some sort of business.
Yeah, which now looking back, I could do that so easy, but it's not.
Back then it was like some big challenge, but
yeah,
as far as fabrication side, that's mostly Christian. I can make a pretty killer tab, but I'm not much of a welder. MIG, alright. TIG is
I gotta
kinda
teach
brutal.
him still. You still gotta learn.
Yeah, Christian hasn't taught me very much, and I've been wanting to learn, so we gotta do that.
Yeah. I've always wondered what air freshener you run in your builds.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. Black ice.
Black ice
everything.
in everything.
But I'm testing some new theories out.
Pioneering
right
some theories over here.
now. Pioneering theories. So I'm doing one black ice, and it's like one peachy. Is that what it's called? It's
I
peachy
don't know.
something. It's like the little orange one. Who are they made by? Little Tree or Little Cone or something?
I don't know. It's the ones that
Little
look like
Pine?
trees.
Yeah. So black ice and then peachy. I don't know.
The real
Testing it.
theory is to run the black ice and then have your 100%, the 100% off.
Yeah, the goggle mango
yeah, the
or whatever
goggle.
it is.
I forget. I don't even know what it is. It's like 100%. It's a motorcycle company. They have their own air fresheners that smell really good, but when you mix them with black ice in a truck, it's like next level.
That's what I was trying to replicate with the like peachy version of
Yeah.
whatchamacallit, but it's not that great. I don't know. I might have to get some of those. With the popularity of the channel / Instagram accounts, is there any chance of future meetings or any future group trips to Baja or Placer City or any other open space desert to meet up and camp out? Yeah. So any plans with any meetups
It
or like
gets-
desert trips? We're doing a desert trip this weekend.
Yeah, this
that anybody
weekend.
can go on.
Yeah, it gets kind of weird though because you can't have events. So when we put stuff on, you have to have a permit to have an event. So you don't want to have. We can't like just post something to where we just say anybody can come because we can't get in trouble for it. So like with our desert trips, we say anybody is welcome to come, but we can't say it's an event. So it's just, there's a weird thing about that. But like this weekend, we are going to Ocotillo Wells, and that was kind of like an open invite to anybody. And I think there's going to be about 20 to 30 trucks there this weekend, so it's going to be a good thing. But as far as like upcoming stuff or stuff in the future,
Not right now. No.
yeah,
We're not
not
planning on it. Not till the channel's bigger.
Not
If
until the
there's-
channel's
maybe if
bigger.
there's enough interest, but we could get a permit. I
Yeah,
don't
we
mind
can
doing
do
that,
it.
but it's just a matter of doing it. I don't think the channel's at that point yet. We'll see how many people have interest in actually doing that.
I know there's a lot of people that do want to come out and meet us and have fun in the desert and do stuff like that. So it will be something that we think about, but probably not for a little bit. At least not until the real desert season comes up and our truck's finished, so we can have something out there for people to see and look at and stuff like that. But
We go to other events too. It's not like we don't go to anything. Like we'll be at Off Road Expo.
mhm. We're gonna try and
maybe
I wanna
have
try and-
maybe have
yeah.
the truck there.
I
We'll
want to
see.
try and have a booth at Expo, but it is really expensive to do that. So we'll see how that ends up panning out. But
Yeah.
that's it's either September or October. It's one of the two. It's coming up, but we'll definitely be there. So if you want to come see us,
Yeah,
We'll be walking
if you,
around
If
for
you
sure.
see us, literally come up and say what's up. It's not like we're gonna be all weird about it.
No.
Like, I don't know. I don't meet that many people. Christian goes to more events than I do, so he's
Yeah,
met more of you than I have. but-
since we started making these videos, basically every event I go to, I have at least a few people come up and say, "I saw, dude," or "What's up? We watched the videos," or something. So it's super cool.
yeah, so if you see us, just come say what's up. Don't be weird about it. We're glad to meet you guys. When are you guys gonna have some merch? Okay,
That's
I like-
literally that was one of my next questions.
That was that's coming from SGRaw757. That's one of the next things I want to do. If you want some merch, comment down below because I want to see how much interest there is. Because
Yeah,
I'm not
'cause
going to
it-
do it if 2 people are going to buy a shirt.
Yeah,
It's
the
not worth
upfront
it.
cost to do merch is quite a bit because we are, at least my brother's planning on doing everything ourselves. So we're going to be actually screen printing, or however we end up making the t-shirts, we're going to be doing it 100% ourselves. So it is not cheap to get this up and going. So
Yeah, I've already been working towards actually doing this. I have a website and I have my DBA, and I'm trying to work on getting my business license, my wholesale license, so I can get shirts.
yep.
So that's definitely coming, and then we want to do stickers too. So we'll have merch and stickers, hopefully soon. We'll see how that goes. But if you have interest in that, please comment down below. So
Yeah, the website, he's already got the website going. There's a couple t-shirt designs already that he's been working on. So it's definitely in the works. It's coming. We just need to figure out when the right time to do it is because it is pretty expensive to get it going.
yeah.
Day jobs, what education do you guys have?
I got my 10th grade. No. Like I said, I'm going to college at UCSD. Christian high school.
Yeah,
and
just high school.
full-time YouTube education and DR education to learn how to fabricate.
Yeah, I hated school, so I finished high school and I was like, no more. And then it's basically as soon as I got out of high school, or while I was in high school, I was working full time while going to school in high school. So I just wanted to start making money and working my butt off, and yeah, so.
Yeah, we educated out here.
But day job, working on these things.
What welders do you guys run, and when will you have merch? We answered the second part. What welder are you running, or welders, since you have two?
For a MIG welder, I have a Miller 215, which is a multi-process welder. It can do MIG, TIG, and stick. I used to have that as just like my main welder to do MIG and TIG, but because I've started to do aluminum, like on this truck with the trunk and stuff like that, I needed to get another TIG welder because the 215 is only DC current. It's not AC and DC. So I have the Everlast 185 now, which is AC and DC, and I love this Everlast welder. It is absolutely the S. I can't say the word because he'll get mad at me,
And
but it's the S.
No scratch start on that one, right?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 215 it was scratch start, so you'd have to touch the surface to get it going. This Everlast 185, you don't have to do any of that.
What do you call it? Just pedal start?
I forget.
Or is it, I feel like there's an actual name for it.
But I have a FUPA cup on it. I have a good foot pedal for the Everlast, and it is night and day different from the 215. I do recommend, if you're going to do anything like this, I do recommend, especially for TIG welding, get a FUPA cup right off the bat and get a good foot pedal if your welder does not come with a good foot pedal. These Everlasts do not come with a good foot pedal. This one actually didn't even come with a foot pedal. So getting the upgradable foot pedal for it is 100% worth it.
Fupa cups or theories or what?
Yes.
Really good?
100% game changer.
Really?
Yes, I'm not even kidding.
Alright, see, I'm not a big welder, so I don't know that stuff yet. If you were, this one comes from Carmel Frapp. If you were to start building the truck again, what would you do different?
Oh.
Let's talk about some background on the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
That takes a whole...
It's a 1992 F-150. We bought it in 2014, I believe. June of 2014, that's when we got the truck. And our plans were this thing to keep it stock motor, throw a beam set under it, and leaf springs in the back. I don't even know if we were thinking about caging it. I think
no, the cage was definitely going to happen. It was supposed to be
stock
like
motor, stock motor too.
Desert Beater 351, rebuild it, just throw it back in the truck.
Yeah. Unequal
Unequal length beams, which it still has on it. That was the first thing we bought, was the beams, and then everything started snowballing. We got links for it. Yeah, it snowballed like crazy. It was not supposed to be the way it is now. So as far as what I would do differently, I'll definitely put equal length beams on the front of it. The cage would definitely be tucked a lot more, but since that was the first cage I ever did, it is what it is. It's good the way it is for sure. It's definitely going to work really good. I'd probably cut the back of the truck off. We kept the frame rails on it and just notched the frame out. I'd probably just completely cut that off and do a true back half on it to get a little bit more up travel out of it. But
did you already say equal length beams?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Equal length beams for sure. I wouldn't go to like a center mounted front end or anything like that. Like I keep beams on it, but it would definitely be equal length just to keep all the ratios correct.
Maybe 2-inch mains in the cage too.
Yeah, the plan was to never run 39-inch tires on that thing either. We were supposed to be running 35s. That was the original plan, was to run 35-inch tires. Then we got 37s, and then it snowballed to 39s. And I'm sure at some point we might,
40s,
we might have 40s on it at some point. That's not in the plans right now, but I'm sure
And then
we'll get
40,
some stupid deal on 40s, and it'll be like, oh, why not?
Then 42s.
Good angle to set up front and rear coilovers or shocks, and what percentage of up and down travel should you have?
All the angle.
All the angles of the
For the
dangles? No.
You know all the numbers.
Yeah, so for the front, with I-beams at least, you want to set up the shock angle relative to the beam and radius arm. So you want to bring the front of the truck up to full bump, and then the angle of the shock needs to be less than 90 degrees to the beam, as well as less than 90 degrees to the radius arm. So the shock would basically be coming in towards the center of the truck, but as long as those two angles in relation to each other are less than 90 degrees, you're right where you need to be. And then for the rear of the truck, you want to do the same thing. You want to get it bumped completely out, and then have the coilover or bypass, whichever one, at least less than 90 degrees to the lower link. So the reason for that is because you want the shock to stay progressive through the cycling of the rear end or the front of the truck, and it just keeps everything working the way it should.
Up and down travel numbers.
Up and down travel.
I say 50-50, but he has like actual numbers.
50-50 is basically where you want to be. For the rear, for a link truck, you want to have at least 12 to 14 inches of up travel from ride height. And then the front of the truck, you want to have at least 9 inches of up travel from ride height. That's basically cutting everything in half. So you're basically 50-50.
Next question comes from KS Bainey 69. When you gonna do a class 5 bug build? That's not my plans with that thing. I've never really outlined my plans on the bug, but I want to keep it pretty simple. One of the things that I really want to stick with is having all the interior in the car and having all the stock metal on the car. So I don't want to cage the thing because the interior is too nice. I don't want to do that to that car. And suspension wise, I want to do a coilover up front just to get some more drivability out of it, make it a little bit smoother. But I want to keep all the metal so I can't go too crazy. Since I'm not going to want to do a cage, I don't want to do full suspension on that car, super gnarly. So I want to keep it simple, and I want to start building something else is my real plan. Just keep that a fun little car.
What's better, A-arms or I-beams? Depends
I-beams, dude.
Yeah, it depends on who you're asking and how you're actually setting it up.
And how much you want to pay.
Yeah, that's a big one. So A-arms, a center mounted truck is going to be the best, absolute best you can get. As far as bang for your buck, I-beams, you're going to get a lot more travel. It's not as clean travel, which means you're going to have a lot of camber change going through the travel, but it is the cheapest route you can go to get the most travel out of it. And depending on who you're asking, it all is, I mean, it's a giver, whichever one. It really depends on who you're asking.
I'm a beam guy, but I have nothing against kits. Like the Missoula kits and Dirt King kits are pretty legit. I got nothing against that.
If you can afford to run a center mounted front end on a truck, do it. That's the holy grail. Like an I-beam setup's not going to compete with like a full center mounted truck, but when it comes to a kit truck versus a beam truck, like there's not I won't say there's not a huge difference, but they're pretty comparable. But there's a big price difference between the two. Massive price difference. And it's all relative to what you're building. So if you have a truck, you're trying to build a truck that comes with I-beams on it, I'd stick to I-beams because it's a lot more simple. If you have a truck that has ARMs on it and you want to run a production kit like a Missoula kit or a Dirt King kit or something like that, you could run something like that just to keep it simple. Center mounted front ends, you're more than likely doing either on a tube chassis truck or you're going to be grafting that into a stock frame rail, which takes a lot of skill to do something like that, and a lot of knowledge as well to be able to get the bulkhead to sit at the right angles and all that stuff. So, and bracing it up. You don't want that whole front bulkhead to be breaking off the truck at some point. So there's a lot of work that goes into something like that, but that is like end goal, basically the nicest thing you could put on a truck. But I'd say I'm definitely an I-beam type of guy too. So
I just like how it looks and how it cycles.
Yeah,
I'm just a fan of it.
Whoop scissors.
Yeah, dog. This one comes from some dude named Tyler Davenport. My favorite topic to discuss with you guys has always been what brought you into off-road, which we've already gone over. But he also asked, why off-road, what drives you to build these trucks, and what makes it special to you guys? So what makes like the desert and off-roading special, and why trucks?
I think what makes it special to us is we're able to build something that all of us can be a part of. Building our 92 F1 build, we're all a part of that, which brings us all together, which is definitely something special about that. I don't know, as far as like off-road, I guess that was just, what do you think?
We grew up in off-road. Like our dad bought a rolling chassis buckshot when we were little kids.
Here we go.
And
Christian Ewing, circa 2001, when he was 5 years old.
Yeah, that's something I drew when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So off-road has definitely been something that's been around our entire lives, just growing up.
18 years ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, growing up in elementary school, just sketching out trucks.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Not wanting to learn anything, just drawing trucks with flames on them and big old shocks and stuff.
Links, like designing custom links in like 3rd grade. But it's been a family thing. Like I was saying, our dad had a buckshot that he bought as a rolling chassis, and he built the rest of the car
in this garage.
Yeah, so we've kind of always been around it, and I don't know if it'd be the same thing if we did car stuff. If our dad was building some normal car, I don't know if we'd be car guys. Probably. I feel like a lot of what you do is what you grew up with. So that's kind of why we are in off-road. Why it's special? I don't know why it's special. It's just something that we enjoy and that we've always been around. Love it. Off-road's everything. Desert's everything. I'd rather be at the desert than anywhere else, that's for sure. I'd rather go to the desert than on some fancy vacation to Hawaii. I could care less about that. I'd rather go enjoy my time in 100-degree weather, just boiling. It's worth it.
Mac and whoops.
You wouldn't know unless you've been.
This is one that kind of caught me off guard. Will you build a truck with a fan? So When I first saw this question, I thought he was talking about like a normal fan, like blows air on you.
Yeah,
So-
we got a CBR radiator with 2 electric fans on it. So we got 2
No.
fans actually.
Building a truck with a fan, we can do it, but it would be just as like a customer. So it wouldn't be you'd bring your truck here and we'd build it for you for free or anything like that. It would be literally you bring the truck here as a customer for Vital Designs. I'd build a truck for you. We would film it more than likely, but as far as just building something for someone, just as something for the channel, that is definitely not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's not in a negative way. Like, we're just 2 normal dudes.
Yeah,
like, we don't have the time or money to just be like building stuff for free for a fan. If a customer wants something done and they happen to be a fan of the channel and they want to do stuff with us, like building the truck,
Uh-huh.
then that would be cool.
Absolutely.
But like, it's not going to be some free thing. I don't think he implied that.
No.
Just throwing that out there. Like,
Yeah.
like we got to have some kind of living.
Like all these dudes doing fan builds or like giveaway cars, like at some point that would be cool to do like some type of range or something that was like a giveaway. That would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But the channel's not big enough to
Yeah,
where
it's not big enough.
supporting us like that on that kind of level. So
Yeah.
we can't really afford to do that right now. This dude just says at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A
yeah,
needs to
but
sponsor us.
Chick-fil-A monster.
Will you guys be coming to the Arizona Off-Road Expo? He also says he met you and you're a cool dude. Maybe someday we can link up and hit the desert. So Off-Road Expo.
Oh, that was the dude that I met at Vegas.
This is Jay Levine 923.
Yeah, I met him in Vegas. I don't think going to the Arizona Off-Road Expo would be something that we're necessarily looking at doing unless someone invited us to come and do it. Our Off-Road Expo here is a lot bigger than the one in Arizona, at least in my opinion. So we will be at the one here, hopefully with the booth, maybe not, but we'll definitely be there. The Arizona one, unless someone invites us to bring the truck there to have in a booth or something like that, we more than likely won't be going there, but it's definitely not out of the cards. Like, we may end up going there just to go see it at some point.
There's no real reason to go there,
Yeah.
especially if we went there, we would 100% have the truck. We're not just going to go to spectate. It would be cool to drive a course like that, but then again, we can do that in California at some of our events. So going out there is not really practical. It would be cool to meet you guys there, but like if we wanted to do some kind of meetup, we would have our own and get a permit for that rather than go to another event and kind of try and do it there. If you see us at an event, absolutely come up and say what's up. We go to some of the events here, like Off-Road Expo.
Yeah.
You went to Off-Road Nights. I didn't go to that.
Off-Road
Tough Trucks.
Nights.
We're at Tough Trucks every year.
Tough
at
Trucks.
Del Mar.
What
So
was the one in Vegas? It was
LS Fest?
LS
I didn't
Fest.
go there.
How do you sell enough crack to be able to afford all these builds?
Dude, we've been trying to build this business for a while. Like, it's taken a lot of effort, but now it's paying for these trucks. So it works.
What do you think about Broncos, and why don't you do any four-wheel drive stuff?
Broncos are cool, and they're the OBS body style, so it's even cooler.
Yeah.
But everybody already does that.
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
lot of
think I don't
Broncos.
think there's something that we could do with the Bronco that's insanely different than what everybody else has already done.
I mean, there is,
wanna-
but you'd have to spend a lot of money to do it. And
Yeah, and it's not worth it because it's a Bronco, but it's not worth it because you can get into it a lot cheaper and have something that still performs really well.
Yeah, Broncos are definitely cool in their own aspect. There's a lot of companies making parts for them now, like Desolate Motorsports, Solo Motorsports are definitely killing the game. But if we did do something four-wheel drive related like that with a Bronco, it would literally just be bolting stuff onto a truck, which isn't that exciting to watch. It's not necessarily fabrication related, so
It'd be cool. It's not out of the picture, but
yeah,
there's other stuff we'd rather build first.
yeah, 100%.
Any plans for another personal full build after the current truck? What's the dream 10-year plan?
Ooh.
So plans for another personal build. He wants to do stuff to his truck, which we're not going to go into because
Yeah.
it's not official. And
That's not necessarily a dream build, but at some point I do want to build something four doors, just because driving around with 3 or 4 of your friends in a 4-door truck in the desert is a lot of fun.
the more the merrier, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. You got to have a lot of horsepower to be able to push around that much weight, but it is cool to be able to have all your friends in a truck and go mash whoops and do stuff like that. So
The dream.
at some point, definitely something 4-door. But this, like after building this or working on this, I don't know if it would be an OBS styled truck just because it is so big. This truck's massive.
The dream build was always what we already have now is the
Yeah.
92 up and build. I always wanted to have an extra cab OBS, and I always forced that on these guys, and then I don't know. Eventually they came into the OBS scene.
Yeah, once
You didn't really like them at the start. You're a big fan of your old body style truck.
Yeah, actually I guess that is technically a dream build at some point. Is I want to build like the 98 generation body style, yeah. Like the more bubbly rounded body style Fords. My last truck was a 98 that was silver, and that was like I kind of regret selling that truck because I do want to build one of those, but someday I will get another one and build one of those trucks.
I'll stick with OBS. That's my bread and butter. But yeah, 92 F1 build was the dream build. So there's other stuff in store, but I'm not going to go. There's plans for it. There's plans for another personal full build. That's to answer your question. That's for sure. Dream 10-year plan, move into the shop.
Yeah, get into a shop.
About that?
Hopefully in 10 years we'll have 100K subscribers too, so that'll be pretty cool.
We're on track for that.
What kind of tube bender do you use in the shop?
JD Model 32, hydromechanical. No, what is that?
It's
hydraulic.
Hydraulic. It's electronic,
Assist.
Electric, hydraulic. You plug it in, 110 volt. The thing, you can get them in manual. The same Model 32, you can get a manual and do it all by hand, but it takes a lot of work to do that, and it's a lot easier just to sit there and press a button. It is a lot more expensive to do that, but with shop equipment, you definitely want to invest in what you're doing, especially if you're going to be doing it quite a bit. So
tools are one of those things that buy them as you need them. You don't have to have everything perfect and super nice equipment right when you start. Like when Christian started building the cage in the 92 F1 build, it was mostly just using an angle grinder just to notch tubes.
Yeah,
that's how he did it, and we had the bender and the welder. But
yeah,
then we went to the Harbor Freight notcher, and then now we have the JD notcher, and that thing's dreams. But you could get away with having less tools. Like you can still do it.
Yeah, you could buy the bender, buy one die for whatever size tubing you're doing, and then slowly, like what we've been doing is just slowly buying dies along the way for whatever we need.
Yep.
And now we have from 1 inch stepped all the way up to 2 inch, and that's like basically doing anything on a truck that you could ever want.
But we started with just 1 3/4 because that's what the whole cage on that truck is. So you don't have to have everything at the start. That's for sure. You can definitely build up. And you don't have to have the nicest stuff at the start. You can start with cheaper stuff and move up.
Yeah.
So you can definitely get into doing stuff like this. When's the VW getting a V8 hung on it? This one's from rmz.ron. I don't think it will, because I'm not doing that unless it has a cage. But I've looked into Ecotech swaps, but then again, I'm not doing that unless I have a cage. I want to build
You got to keep a VW motor in a VW.
You don't have to, but yeah. But I would build a VW motor for that. What I want to do is buy like a 1600 block and then build it to like a 1915 or somewhere around there, and just
put
have
a
bunch
big old
of,
snail on it.
No turbo. We could do a turbo, but I probably wouldn't do a 1900 first. I'd probably do just a 1600 with a turbo. But
I want to put a turbo on something. At some point, something's getting a turbo around here. At some point, it's going to happen because I want to do it.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's going to be yet, but something's getting a turbo.
92 F1 build turbo.
How long have you been a fabricator? Who's going to get the most seat time in the F1? Oh, that's up for debate between who you're asking.
I don't know. I think it'll be pretty even. It better be pretty even.
It should be pretty even, at least for the drive time in the truck. As far as how long have I been a fabricator? I started, I'd say about 6 years ago. It's taken 5 years to build our truck to the point that it is now, and I was interning for about a year before that, just trying to learn as much as I could at a shop. And yeah, I mean, I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, so it's definitely going to be a journey. It has been a journey already, just building this thing. I've learned a lot.
I want to get a lot more into it, start welding more, and actually, I've bent tubes, but like not for an actual cage, so I definitely want to start learning more. You guys start teaching me more. I've talked to you about welding a few times, so we got to get that going.
Yeah.
How does someone learn all the stuff you guys know and get into the off-road fab business? This is from Trevor_Estelle.
That's looking at forums, whether it be Desert Rangers, Race Desert, YouTube videos, which are starting to come out quite a bit more. Not necessarily on like off-road related fabrication stuff, but just fabrication in general, just making panels, how to bend tubes, how to weld. But definitely spending a lot of time on Desert Rangers, looking at build threads, just going through threads on different things for whatever we're trying to learn about at the time. But hours and hours, countless hours on forums, just looking at stuff.
Yeah, there's no like direct way to get into it, but definitely looking at what other people are doing is a good idea.
Yeah.
We've gone through a bunch of, like you said, desertrangers.com. You can go to DR Rides and look through how people are building their trucks, tube layouts, what parts they're running. YouTube, that's a good place to learn how to weld. There's tons of videos on that.
Yeah.
That's probably how you learned how to weld pretty well.
Yeah, YouTube is literally like, that's basically how I did learn how to weld. It's just setting how to set parameters on the welder, techniques on what to do. It's not going to like teach you exactly how to do it. You're going to have to sit down and actually learn yourself what technique works for you, how to exactly do things. But YouTube will definitely help a lot instead of having to go to school or anything like that.
Another big way to learn stuff, which has come about in like the last 5 years, is social media, Instagram.
Yeah.
Get in touch with people that are building trucks currently and that know what they're doing, and just ask them questions. Like,
Yeah, if you're gonna be asking like very generic questions on what should I do to my truck, for the most part, people aren't gonna answer your questions like that. If you have very specific questions that you're asking on some things that you're doing, you're more than likely gonna get an answer on it. So what you can do, especially now that social media is so big, you can get in touch with a lot of the companies that sell parts for the vehicle that you have. So you just need to figure out what companies make parts for your vehicle. And the cool part about a lot of companies now is they're getting very specific in different brands of vehicles. So you can go find the companies that make stuff for your vehicle and then start asking them questions, seeing what they sell first, and then asking them questions about that, seeing how it works with your vehicle, stuff like that. But just asking someone what you should be putting on the front of your truck, you're more than likely not going to get an answer for it. Or how you should build your truck, you're more than likely not going to get an answer for it. You just got to do that type of stuff on your own, figure that out, Google it. But social media is definitely a huge aspect now that you can just go ahead and go straight to the source of a lot of things, especially fabricators and stuff like that. You can get a lot of good information out of them.
Yeah, so figure out what application you want to do and then figure out what parts you want to run. No one's going to tell you need to run this, because everybody has their own opinions.
Yep.
So you just got to figure out what you want to do. Another good way to get in touch with people is to go to events. That's a big one. You go to a truck meet, look over these trucks, figure out what people are doing. The person's there that owns the truck, so you can ask them questions of why they chose this, why they chose that, how they like something. It's all about communication.
Yep.
In this field, there's no
Yeah,
no real YouTube videos on off-road. I mean, we're one of like the main ones that actually does stuff, and I hope you guys learned something out of these videos, because we try and definitely teach things. Like we did the whole bead rolling panels, brake lines. Like there's a lot of stuff on the channel if you look through it. So I hope we've kind of helped with that and teaching you guys some stuff. Yeah,
back to the truck meet thing. Like whenever we go to truck meets, we definitely get under the trucks and see how things are doing. Like I'll go to a 100%. Truck meet, not necessarily find trucks that are what I'm trying to look at, but just look at how people are laying tubes out, how they're gusseting things together, how they're laying like just anything out on the truck. Especially if I'm trying to do it on something that I'm building myself, that's definitely a huge help in doing things, because like you said, you can talk to the person and see why they did it like that, and just ask as many questions as you want, because the dude's standing right there and you can ask him. And oftentimes people who've built trucks want to talk about it, so it's like it's all cool. It's not like you're bugging them. Yeah. What's the hardest part of a pre-owner build? How do you learn to do everything? We went over just learning a lot of it. What's the hardest part of the build? I would say the hardest part is definitely the cab cage, getting the cab cage in the truck, just because it's such a tight space. Doing the engine cage or doing the back of the truck is definitely a lot easier, because you're not confined into a space. Getting in there and getting all the tubes fit correctly in the truck, being able to weld fully around everything, getting the floor back in place where you dropped your tubes out through the floor of the truck, the firewall, the back of the truck, plating all that stuff in. It's definitely a nightmare trying to weld to sheet metal, but I would definitely say welding a cab cage into a truck is the single-handedly hardest part of building a truck. Getting 360 on tubes is like gonna be your hardest part. Like a lot of people, there's different ways you can get 360 degrees on a cab cage. You can chop the whole roof off, which is a pretty common method, or like we did on this truck, we had the whole bottom half of the cage, it's on pontoons, and we just broke the tacks and the whole cage dropped down, and Christian could weld the top sides of all the tubes. So there's a few different ways you can do it, but yeah, I'd say cab cage is just difficult because you're in tight spaces and it's dark. You don't have very good lighting in there unless you have a light. Would you guys do some work for some people with Toyotas or other vehicles, like bed supports or mounting bump stops? So that sounds like customer bed supports. I'm sure you. Is that Connor? This is Ty_BMX. Oh, I have no problem working on any type of vehicle. I do kind of pick and choose what I work on as far as just being productive, because like I said, I can only have one vehicle in here at a time. So it does get kind of difficult trying to do certain things around my schedule, but I have no problem with working on Toyotas.
A lot of people have asked if we're going to do a Tacoma build. I don't know if that's one of the questions here, but I've seen it in the comments. Yeah. That's not high on the priority list though. But there's nothing against Tacomas. Total Chaos kits are rad. Some people beam them too. It would be cool to beam a Tacoma.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're cool little trucks. How much tubing do you guys use on average per truck? Also, how much do you spend on tubing? I'm guessing per foot. It's
Yeah.
from Bobby Digital 915.
Yeah, so our truck, our 92 F1 build,
There's probably 100 foot in the cab cage, you think?
yeah, there's probably, and keep in mind, everything on our truck is all 4130 chromoly, so it is quite a bit more expensive than like DOM tubing, which is what like this whole truck is made out of. If I could go back, I probably wouldn't use 4130 just because it is a lot more expensive. It is a little bit more brittle unless you're heat treating the entire chassis. Like a trophy truck or any tube chassis vehicle is all typically 4130 that's going to be raced, and then they heat treat the entire chassis after it's been welded. Because when you weld on 4130, it does kind of, it breaks down the material, like the strength of the material a little bit. So when you heat treat it, it brings all that back. But I would say as far as how much tubing is on that truck, it's so hard to tell. I'd say there's probably at least 200 to 300 feet of tubing on that thing altogether, and that's at like $6 to $9 a foot, depending on how much it is at the time. So it definitely gets pretty expensive.
Thoughts and opinions on a first gen Tundra build?
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to the Toyota question. There's nothing against building something Toyota related. We do try and stick to the OBS kind of body style just because that's kind of our thing. But if we did do something Toyota related, we'd probably end up throwing beams on it. But the Tundras definitely have a good V8 motor in them. They're pretty healthy, so it's definitely not out of the question. But that would more than likely be something that's maybe like fan related at some point. Like if we wanted to do like a fan build, something that you guys picked. But that would definitely be down the road once we have a little bit bigger fan base going.
That looks like it was the last question that I had on my Instagram post, and Christian went through all the ones that he had saved from his Instagram and from YouTube.
There was a lot of questions that were asked the same thing over and over again, so I mean,
yeah,
I think we answered them all.
Yeah, we got a lot of the questions answered. I just want to say thank you again for helping the channel get to 10K. If you guys want to see another one of these questions and answers video, I think we'll do one probably around like 25,000 subscribers.
Yeah, 25K would be a good number to hit.
Good milestone, and then after that maybe 50 and then 100 after that. I don't know. If you guys want to see them, we'll definitely do them. We're happy to answer guys' questions, that's for sure.
Yeah, if there's questions that you guys have that you haven't seen us answer in this video, drop them down below and we'll definitely get those answered in the next video or just in the comments, just to answer if you guys have any other questions that you have.
With that, I think it's time to end this video. Christian and I have been sitting out here in these Sparkos for a hot minute. I definitely need a break. I'm getting a little tired over here. Maybe have a coffee or something, we'll see. Thank you guys again though. 10,000, awesome. And see how far we can get the channel. Every like, comment, and subscribe that you guys drop just builds the channel. That's why I encourage that a lot. I don't say it for no reason. Might get a little redundant, but it helps grow the channel and helps us build even better stuff. So thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace!